Hi guys, Jay here from borntoproduce.com and welcome to lesson 3 where we're going to start working on the melody and the chord structure. Now I'm going to take you through this really fantastic feature in Cubase called Chord Pads, and it's really great if you don't have any musical theory knowledge and just allows you to come up with some really great chord pads really quickly and really easily. I'm going to be taking you through that in just a sec. But I just want to mention our Killer Melodies course, which is specifically designed for electronic music producers to understand to make their own chord progressions and really killer catchy melodies. Okay, so on with chord pads. Make sure your lower zone is open, and this time we're not going to use the mix console. Just bring your cursor over to chord pads and click that. And here you see the default window is it's already put some chords in there for you. Now normally when you click the chords, obviously you can hear the chords. But at the moment we have nothing assigned to these chords. So in other words, we don't have a virtual synth connected to these chords. So that's what we need to do. So we need to create an instrument track. Several ways to do this, but you can right click in the Arrange window and click Add Instrument Track. Or you can come up to your right pane, make sure you're on VSTI. We were on Media before in the previous lessons. Make sure you come onto VSTI and right click again and add track instrument. Now you just need to select which instrument you want to use, and I'm going to go to the inbuilt synths that come with Cubase and double click on Halion Sonic and click add track. Now there's a whole host of sounds in here, from synths to vocals to pianos, as you can see from this menu here, but I'm going to go for a synth lead, kind of analog sound, and let's make it bright, and it will filter down my results to just a few in this bottom window here. And I'm going to choose Finest Lead here. So and you can audition any of the sounds just by clicking on the keyboard at the bottom of the VST window. Or of course you can use your own MIDI keyboard if you have that plugged in and ready to go. So we don't need that window anymore, so I'm just going to close that. And now when we click on the chord pad itself, we should be able to hear something. Okay, so we're going to be working in B major for this track. So just want to make sure that all the chords related to B major come up on the screen. So we need to click this button here, Chord Pads Preset, and load Chord Pads Preset. And we want to make sure that major scale B is selected. And it brings up a few of the related chords to the B major scale. That just gets us in the right musical area to start off with. And just a little tip for you here, I'm just going to lock all the pads, because sometimes the chord types change from time to time and I don't want that to happen. So as I said, Cubase has already loaded up some preset chords for us, which it thinks are going to be useful to us. But you can also add some more into these blank spaces by clicking the down arrow, literally just choosing whatever chord you want, like F or E or D, and then the variation, major or minor, and of course you have further variations like sevenths and ninths, etc, etc. You can also scroll through the different chord variations using this bottom control and using the left and right arrows. And using the right hand control point, the up and down, you can go through the different voicings, which just means it plays the chord in a different way and in a different position on the keyboard. Like so. So to create our chord progression, I'm going to show you another useful tool. Click on this button here, Show Hide Chord Assistant. And Cubase is going to suggest to us chords that match really well with our root note, which is the B. You've got two options here at the top. You've got proximity and circle of fifths. I like to use proximity, it's great for beginners. And you see our root note at the bottom, which is B. And what it's saying here is the closest these chords are to your root note they're more related, so therefore they're more likely to work with your chosen root note. And hence that's why it's called proximity. So I can just audition a few of these. Okay, I think I'm going to use B, F sharp, sus4 and A for my progression. So as you can see, my F sharp sus4 is not on my pads here, it's unassigned. So we can just drag that onto an unassigned pad, and there it is. Or I can just drag it straight in from the proximity helper into the arrange window. I'm just going to show you that you can drag A into a pad and then drag that onto the arrange window. Just showing you different ways of achieving the same result. Okay, so let's see what that sounds like. Click my playhead to the beginning of the project. Let's just turn this down a touch. So as you can see, we haven't quite filled up the 4-bar loop with these chords, and I want this A chord to be twice the length. So I'm just going to extend the part by taking the right hand control point over to the end of the selection and open up the event part. So I'm just going to select all my notes and extend them on so they're double in length. Let's just have a look, see what we've got. Okay, still a little bit too loud, so let's just turn that down a touch. That sounds about right to me at the moment. So all that's left for me to do now is literally just glue these 3 different parts together. So I'm going to go up to the top tools and click on the glue tool and literally just highlight them all and click. Go back to my selection tool and we'll have one last play through before we move on to the next lesson. Okay, so that all sounds good, but let's just add a little bit of variation to the very end of this last chord, and let's keep it interesting. So let's just right click, select the split tool, and for the last 2 beats, and just going to move this up to F sharp. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, happy with that. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I hope that was useful to you and you found out how easy it is to create chord progressions yourself in Cubase Chord Pads. I'm now going to hand over to John, who's going to start building up the bass line. Cheers guys, see ya. Thanks so much for your support guys. Please click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more great videos.